Hello all my planner friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be setting up the March 1st budget for the month of March. And I wanted to do this from the beginning because in my past videos I already had most of it set up, so I wanted to show you my process and what I do. And I felt like this video, with it having for us and our family 3 pay periods, it was important for me to really share my thoughts on how to handle the so-called extra paycheck. For us, it's not truly an extra paycheck, and you need to budget that money, because if you don't budget that extra paycheck, how are you going to budget for food? How are you going to budget for things like gas and dog food and haircuts? So you have to budget even what's considered to be an extra paycheck. And for us, we will have a bill or two come out of that paycheck to prepare for the next month. So sorry if you're hearing that background noise. My daughter is playing with a toy, so there will be a little background noise since she's home and around. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is set up the month calendar so I can see what bills are due when, and then I will set up the paycheck to paycheck budget and go over that with you. I am going to do a separate video on stuffing the envelopes for this paycheck, so if you're interested in that, look for that video. I should be posting that shortly after this one posts. I still need to run to the bank today and take care of that, so it is on my to-do list. And a side note for that video, I need to get dog food while I'm out, and that comes out of the cash envelopes, so that envelope should be a smidge short, but I'll explain that more in the video. Okay, so I'm gonna get to filling this out. The pens I'm going to use are the Friction erasable pen. This pen does a decent job at erasing, and I love purple, so we're gonna use that one. I use this one, just a mechanical, crappy, cheap pencil. I prefer mechanical only because the ink or the lead stays sharp, and I use that on the week-to-week budget, and then I just use a standard black marker to mark paydays, so I know what's going on. So I'm going to fast forward sections of this video. I will pop in throughout and talk to you about what I'm doing and my thoughts. So I'm gonna get to filling this out, and then I will be back in just a little bit. Okay, bye guys. Okay guys, so I'm all done with my monthly setup, and just a quick review. We do get 2 paychecks on Friday the 1st. We're due to get our state refunds back. It's not much, but it's something. We get paid on the 15th and the 29th. These are all the bills that are due, and their due dates. So now I'm going to plan which bills come out of which paycheck and try and make sure that I maximize and this paycheck, so we don't end up setting ourselves up for failure when we go into April, because for April we get paid on the 1st, but we don't get paid again until the 12th. And so I need to make sure that I have enough money to cover the bills that are due prior to the 12th. And so that's where maximizing this paycheck comes into play, and making sure that I monitor this so-called extra paycheck, so I'm not pulling out of savings to cover because we spent too much money or put too much money on a debt. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to set up my paycheck to paycheck in the next part of the planner. And this I do fill out as the month goes along to just keep me motivated and focused on our budget. So now I'm going to use these pages to set up each paycheck. And because this is the nice thing about budgeting, it's never set month to month, it's flexible. I did have to modify our allowances. Things changed. We got another vehicle, so our gas increased. So you will see those changes as I progress through, and I will explain all that to you as well. And I will also explain it in my cash envelope stuffing video. Okay, so I'm going to start filling this out, and then I will come back in later and go over everything. Okay, bye. Okay guys, so I am now done with the pay periods for the month except for this one. And as you can see, I haven't finished budgeting this one yet, and I'm going to do that with you because I want you to understand what's going on. So I know that I'm going to have to pay for our allowances and our savings. So out of that money, I am already going to be short $600 for allowances and $110 for savings. Now, I'm going to get paid again April 1st, and I generally pay the same bills. However, I pay our preschool bill every other paycheck, or every other month, I'm sorry. So, even though I'll have an extra $220, I don't have enough money to pay that loan, this loan payment. And as you'll see, my loan is due on the 8th, and I don't get paid until April, what date is it? The 12th. So it's not enough money for me to wait until that payday. I will be short, and I don't have anywhere to pull that extra money from, and I don't want to have to pull that extra money. I have a paycheck. So this paycheck, I will take care of the loan. And I will still have extra money out of the paycheck, but I need to make sure that our family and our house is taken care of, and that's one way of doing that. So I will have even more here. I don't have as much as the full paycheck like everybody claims they get, but I will have extra money. Okay, so there is a lot of extra money this month, and with our tax returns, which I believe is like $200, we should be able to pay off the remaining portion of my medical bill, which is this $220 a month, and we are super excited about that. So we do have some miscellaneous expenses coming in this month that I know of right now, but things happen and life happens, so I don't always send every penny I have right away. So I do know that I will have my state taxes coming in, which is all going to go to state refund. It's all going to go to the medical bill. I'm not sure the exact amount, but I believe it's $200. So that's just going to go straight to Methodist. And then any extra we send from these paychecks at the end of the month will help pay it off. We should have a little bit of overage, which will then go to the next debt. But, oh, I forgot to write allowances. Okay, so here's what's going on. Miscellaneous things are things that are happening in bills and such that I know are going to pop up. So for instance, I have my son's 9th birthday. Now, we're not planning anything big, but it's still an event that I'm going to need to deal with. Not deal with, but you know what I mean. I need to plan for it. I need to, if I make him a cake, I need to make sure I have the materials for it. He does want to do something with his best friend, so I think we're going to take them bowling. So I need to make sure that I keep some money floating around and available for that event, so I don't, send everything I've got to debt and not keep any money available. But as of right now, this is the only bill. I do know that if it's not March, it's going to be April that school registration is due for my boys and my daughter. And I'm not sure when that's going to hit. So here's my plan. I have an extra $800 right now, March 1st. So what I do with that after I pull out my allowances and my savings is I feel comfortable keeping about $200 in my checking account at all times. So I will send, right today, I'm going to send our medical bill, not only the $120 that I'd already budgeted, but an additional $500. And that leaves me a nice little cushion until next payday in case something happens, like a registration's due, a surprise pop-up birthday party for somebody. I need to get something that is above and beyond what my allowances are. I have the backup money there in case of an emergency, so I'm not transferring money in and out of our accounts. And then when we get paid again March 15th, if there's any of that $200 left over that I didn't send to debt, so let me just write that down. Let me just show you a visual of what I'm talking about. So on March 1st, sorry, I'm going to write it here. March 1, I'm going to send $120, so I have $830 extra. I'm going to send Methodist our medical bill, $120, the $120 payment you see right here, plus the extra. So I'm going to send them I will be sending Methodist $620. And then that will leave my extra for me to budget with, $330. Because I'm already sending that. I'm sending $500 from here and the $120 payment. I hope that makes sense. And this is March 1st. This payment here, I don't know when I'm receiving it. They have it scheduled, but our state sucks. So they could keep the money and never give it back to me. I'm gonna finish filling this in and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so I'm all done with my monthly setup for my budget for the month of March, and it looks like it's going to be a good month for us. We should be able to pay off our medical bill between our state refund, which isn't very much, but it's something, and our extra funds that we have. We should be able to get it paid off as long as nothing major pops up. But you know, life happens and I have to be flexible, and this budget allows me to be flexible. So as of right now, today is March 1st, I am going to send $620 to our medical bill. That is the $120 I had already budgeted plus an extra $500. That leaves me an extra $330 for the March 1st payment. I normally don't use this page. I normally use this page and just save this one. But because there's a little bit more going on, I decided to save this so I can budget for my March 15th extra funds over here on this page on the back side, and use as much as I need. Plus I still need to write down my debts, but I don't share that with you guys. That gets a little too personal. So anyways, stay tuned to see how the month progresses, what popped up. I do track what happens for miscellaneous expenses, so I know in the future things to plan ahead for, things that I know that are coming due, and it helps me to know to save some extra money for that event. So for instance, you know, out of this paycheck, I don't know how much will go to debt. I do know I have some extra money. His birthday is at the end of the month, but we're planning on doing it before his birthday, the bowling party. So I need to make sure I have money for it, so it'll come out of this paycheck, not the big paycheck at the end of the month that we all wish we could just spend. And I hope I explained this. If I didn't explain it or I confused you, please make a note down below in the comments. I will try to clarify or make a video to clarify what's going on. But I think as the month progresses, it should be self-explanatory. So if we're just looking at today's pay period, I have extra money, about $830. I'm sending $620 to Methodist to pay them off, or sorry, to make a decent payment that will closely pay them off. It only leave me about $400 left, which with that, blah, 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 I'm sidetracking, totally sidetracking. I will have an extra $330 for the paycheck of March 1st. And then hopefully I get to keep the entire thing and apply it to my medical bill. But we'll see. We'll see. Life happens and I have to be flexible. Okay. I hope I explained it. I hope you understand what's going on. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry if it's super long and boring, but budgeting can be boring sometimes. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a great day and a great week. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.